Hi, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. My name is Karan Jain. I'm the founder and CEO of NayaOne. We're a secure vendor evaluation layer that's working with some of the largest enterprises in their AI adoption journey. I'm very excited to be joined by Sanjay Sankolli, Chief Architect for AI and Data at the Truist Bank. I've almost stopped paying attention to which AI solutions are coming through because they're coming through so thick and fast. And I would say we would be averaging about 10 to 20 new AI solutions onto the platform. And it's all on the back of customer requirements, the request to like, hey, I need to look at this. Like from an AI solution, with the solutions that are emerging so rapidly, how do you think about like the institutions evaluating technologies while maintaining strong governance and risk posture?
Yeah. The speed at which AI solutions are coming at us, I mean, we've never seen that before, Karan, right?
No.
And it's so ubiquitous now. Every vendor presents solutions with some embedded AI in it, right?
Yeah.
So, and in many cases, there are a lot of factors that actually slow you down in terms of adoption, right? And there's this whole notion, like I was telling you, the risk is not in moving fast and breaking things, it's in moving too slowly and becoming irrelevant, right? So now, what actually allows you to move faster is if you start treating governance as a gate, it's going to slow everything down.
Mm-hmm.
It should be seen as a guardrail that's embedded in the process from day one as you conduct your evaluations. And more importantly, there is no need to evaluate every AI solution that's coming at you. You have to be very intentional about that AI solutions. And you can only be intentional if you have a clear value stream mapped out. You need to understand your value streams and where your frictions lie in your business. And then actually you look at solutions that actually deliver deliver value in that value stream analysis that you've done. You have to be very intentional about that. Once you're there, then you need to begin these pilots with this whole principle of governing early, not late. And you're embedding all your governance guardrails day one into that evaluation process. So it doesn't come at you as a surprise when you're actually trying to go through the production journey.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, your entire ecosystem has to be a digital twin of your organizational state, right? That allows you to evaluate this solution ruthlessly against our environments, against your data assets, against our regulatory expectations, against our operational load. That actually gives you a clear sense that if you were to bring the solution in, you can truly realize the value. But I don't think these speed at which these innovations are coming at us is going to slow down anytime soon. So it's extremely critical for organizations to build that institutional muscle and not treat this as a discrete project approval. It's not the human engagement as much, Karan. You can bring that in quickly. The issue is creating that digital twin of your infrastructure, of your data states, with all of your regulatory expectations, operational expectations factored in. That's the long term. The whole getting that right, actually, and having a whole philosophy around value stream mapping and being intentional about looking at AI solutions and innovations that are coming at you are the key.
I really like that. And to your point, every vendor is got an AI component now. What we're seeing is categories of how AI is entering organizations. So number one, you've got your cloud providers and the services that will give you the LLMs and bringing in the open sources. Then you've got AI native products that are coming into the market. But then to your point, the third category is like every vendor has now got a wrapper and rightfully so. Otherwise, something else will disrupt them. And they've got a strong data moat already. So why not protect it? But what I'm seeing is, to your point, the institutional memory or the muscle has not been built or is not there to actually absorb all different types of AI through these different channels that's coming in. And what we're seeing is, like, in my opinion, AI is one of the biggest change programs that I've seen in my career, right? Can't predict the future.
100%.
It's pretty big. So don't treat it like a project and don't wait for the next 3 years to pick the vendor that your friends at other banks have picked, because 3 years is way too late, because that is like typical industry behavior. It's like, okay, I'll just wait till everyone else buys and I'll pick the winner, or in the top three. Whereas actually, no, that's going to be very different. And given the type of product solutions and use cases, it's not always one-to-one match between those. So yeah, really resonate. Your digital twin point is really important as well, and often a hard one. I find pondering about that, because so the infrastructure is good, like can be replicated. Speaking from an IO perspective, your metadata and your synthetic data
Yeah.
can be replicated from one point. The thing that, and not one for today, maybe for another session, but it's like we come up, or try to think through, is replicating architecture and downstream impact as well, because this is rewiring for the future. So that's like, so just wanted to share, because I think you'll find it really interesting, that what is the
100%.
downstream impact of these changes.
No, 100% right. Evaluating AI as a technology initiative versus an operating model, that's the difference, if you will, right?
Yeah.
And to your point, this innovation is not about just bringing technology in and continuing with your same operating model. It fundamentally questions how you operate your business.
On multiple fronts.
Yeah.
Business model to your tech stack to your operations. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. What are you seeing in terms of some tips and that audience can take from, which is around building confidence across business, technology, and risk teams, that this particular AI solution is truly ready from an enterprise deployment and solving their business, or the business case at hand, rather than, to your earlier point, vendors gaming it for pilot.
Yeah.
But there's a flip side to that coin, right? Which is on the inside of the organization, between business and technology. What's your view on that?
Yeah. So one of the principles that we have to actually govern this by is AI isn't considered ready when it works. It's considered ready when everyone agrees they can own it. This includes your business teams, your technology teams, and your risk teams. If they can actually come out and say they own it, now you have a solution that's going to truly deliver a phenomenal operating model that kind of puts you to that frontier, right? And the key here, Karan, that you mentioned earlier, was to engage these audiences early and define a clear production-ready criteria upfront and jointly. That's the key, right? What business wants to get out of it versus what technology wants to get out of it versus what risk and compliance wants to get out of it. They're not necessarily divergent. It's just that you do need to deliver business value at an increased velocity while ensuring your risks are effectively managed. So although today in current ecosystem they seem very conflicting, that's just because they're not engaged early on. Right? So it's key to engage all these audiences early as you begin your AI adoption and experimentation journey. And the key that you just mentioned was to run a pre-mortem, not a pilot. Mortem in the sense you're intentional about what value you want to get out of it, and then you are considering some AI solutions. It's pretty important to map out the level of uncertainty these days around AI, around this doom and gloom that gets painted around AI, right? Actually drives a level of resistance within the firms across, right? Now, the key is to actually do a pre-mortem to understand what can go wrong, and then actually clearly construct strategies to address if things go wrong. Essentially, you're now moving more towards, you're not trying to avoid risks, you're trying to be aware of those risks, and you want to manage them effectively. So you're going in with both your eyes and ears open, right? So that actually drives a level of confidence, Karan. Confidence comes from knowing that you've stress tested all these unhappy paths. And once you basically drive that confidence in these communities, Now you're truly doing an operating model and not just a technology. Development teams, your technology teams are really motivated to register that increased velocity with risk and compliance requirements factored in, and businesses leaning on to actually see how best they can actually leverage that to deliver significant value. And then the last part is being transparent about this entire experimentation. So the evidence across all these pillars have to be legible to all these audiences. So that level of transparency kind of reduces the uncertainty that people actually still carry with them when it comes to AI.
Yeah, that's super, super good. One of the patterns, a lot of patterns we're seeing that are common to what you said, but the one that resonates the most is the evidence-based decisioning.
Yes.
In terms of driving that. I mean, you can read between the lines, and the regulation already says that. But I think AI is bringing all parts of broken models and value chains to the surface really, really fast.
And one thing there, Karan, that evidence-based decisioning that you mentioned, I think we are not too far. Once you have that institutional muscle built in, your procurement decisions will also be driven mostly by evidence-based decisioning. It can't be a pilot output, but you're looking at, okay, here is an indicative digital twin of our org. And if you're signing up for this outcome, sign up for that outcome. And then let's actually look at different relationships with these product vendors. Yeah. Could be gain share, could be evidence-based licensing arrangements, right? So today, I think some of these procurement decisions are actually taken so early on, even before you have any evidence of value being realized. And that actually, with the space at which these AI solutions are coming at us, it doesn't leave you enough room to go through that. So you do need to perfect that institutional muscle, if you will, to conduct these value-based experimentations at the same speed at which these innovations are coming at you.
Thank you, Sanjay, for joining me today. For the interviews and insights, please do visit cdomagazine.tech. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.